And here we are on Crossroads Winter with of course the center Sherman looking quite sad, but not today. He's very happy because we have none other than CPU Easy playing as the USF forces, already sprawling out of the base here with the riflemen. And opposing the USF forces we have none other than DSM playing as the ostheer, going double pioneer opening here. Very interesting. Not something you generally see. He also skipped tier 1, so I sense we're gonna have a double pioneer into double machine gun into double panzer grenadier build, which is something I used to do quite a lot actually. I used to do this build in tournaments. Of course there's no guarantee that's what he's going for, but I think it's an interesting build. It's not like super strong, but you know, it can sometimes take your opponent by surprise, you know, which is what you're going to be looking for. But yeah, we do have some sandbags going down here. Ari is closing in, of course, being aware that there's some natural green cover here, which is very nice. So we have a very calm here opening, but of course the ostheer playing going for a very slow build here. Probably just looking to capture as much as possible without having much infantry. Means, you know, you're gonna want to take your time. You don't want to rush things. Looks like we might have a cutoff play here though from CPU Easy, capturing that cutoff, removing the fuel from DSM's hands. MG42 repositioning to deal with this. Also, you know, using them in close approximation with the Pioneer to get that vision. We have another MG up north waiting for the support. We have a third Pioneer coming out for DSM. Still no third rifleman from CPU here. Could be a very fast lieutenant potentially, which would usually mean he's going for a fast M20, but we'll see here. Yes, lieutenant is out, so fast M20 is probably going to be the pick here from CPU Easy.
A capture point is under attack.
As the MG42 is about to get flanked, but he does have the Pioneer support. At this point you probably want to switch around and focus down the Pioneers instead. As this combat engineer or Rariklon is going to get very close to the base defenses here. And yes, that's quite unfortunate. Yeah, these Pioneers aren't trading too well versus the Riflemen. Of course the MG got caught off guard, but couldn't quite follow it up. But we do have a cutoff play here from DSM. Quite nice. Might be able to get this teller down in time before Easy's reinforcements. We have the M20 in queue, 4 minutes. Could probably been slightly faster. I'm not sure why it was delayed so much. Might have been a bit too slow to click on his upgrades. You can get it like at 3 minutes 40 seconds in the queue, so definitely could have been faster. Could also have gone for a third rifleman at this point, but he might be tempted to pick up a doctrine here, such as airborne. But we'll see. 222 is now in the build for DSM, so proper timing there as well. 4 minute 30 is a very good timing for a 222. Of course, having 3 Pioneers means he could take up really fast. We see another teller coming down here for DSM. So that's 2 tellers out already. One of the strengths with a build like this, of course, meaning you have no upgrades to get on your infantry. But we did see a Pioneer go down there, so it's not a huge loss to be honest, but it's a loss nonetheless for sure. And oh, this M20 could see the light of day already! So close to the teller! There we go! It goes down! The MG42 basically baiting the M20 in there. As the 2-2 hits, we have a second 2-2 in the build.
Our opponents are seizing a sector. The enemy is taking our territory.
I must say, I wonder what Easy is thinking here. He has 800 manpower and he's still only running double rifleman plus lieutenant. You know, he has a lot of options here. He got lieutenant, so he could go 50 cal. He never got his third rifleman. Still hasn't picked the doctrine. I'm pretty sure he will pick up the Stuart, especially once he sees the second 2-2. But he really needs to be a bit more swift here because he's about to lose the entire map. But yeah, Stuart's in the build, the 50 cal as well. Well, again, a bit unfortunate he didn't pick up that 50 cal sooner because they are in the same tech structure. Also a bit unfortunate here, 2-2 pushed the MG, so it actually never stepped into the zone. But another thing here, actually sitting on top of that teller could really backfire once the Stuart hits. Something you never want to do, sit on top of your own mines. But you know, he planted it in such a way that he might not even... He might have forgotten it's there, and you know, he might have... You know, it's hard to see, right? Because of the way it's planted on the road. Yeah, Stuart is now out. Still no sweeper. He's getting one now. He's not going to make the same mistake. Having so many pioneers means he can just plant mines everywhere, essentially. I've not seen any more tellers, but I'm pretty sure there is some, because, you know, DSM doesn't have any munitions, so he must have gotten something for the munitions. I know we got no healing yet. No, where is the munitions gone for DSM? Must be another teller somewhere that we have not seen. We also see the Jaeger command squad out, which means that DSM now actually has access to a snare. And he gets the snare in on the Stuart. 2-2 could actually capitalize on this. Especially with the rare armor showing here. If he dives with the 2-2s, that Stuart is going down. Might not want to risk it though with the riflemen close by. You know, they can always go in for the snare themselves. Does get the balance ambulance out, so he's retreating his rifleman there. Making sure he's not bleeding too much. Still wondering where all of DSM's munitions went. Must be something more hiding. There's a teller here actually, that's very hard to spot. There's at least 2 tellers out that we're aware of. Yeah, you can see here he's using the Stuart together with the sweeper. But so far map control is definitely in the favor of DSM here. He's had double fuel for quite some time. And even though, you know, CPU is cutting this fuel income off, he's not getting it himself, so still a slight advantage here to DSM when it comes to map. And you know, the fact is that CPU Easy he's invested 90 fuel at this point into vehicles, meanwhile DSM has only invested 60, so just a lot of advantages for DSM here, already getting battle phase 2 already, so you know, an Ostwind is 2 minutes away if he wants one. Overlapping machine guns here, very nice. Stuart has to get over there, but there's so many tellers here. He needs to pull the RE with him. Oh, this could end really bad. He's gonna have to play really safe with this Stuart. RE getting very close there, but no infantry that can really kill anything. He only has the 2-2 as killing power here. Also had the 50 cal there with the low armor piercing, which did some damage to the 2-2. We have another 50 cal now coming out for CPUC, but once again he's floating so much manpower there could be more units here, which he desperately needs. He barely has any map control.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And we have another RE because apparently that went down. What killed that? Was that the Jaeger infantry squad that killed the RE? I missed that completely, I'm sorry.
Supply are disrupted.
But yeah, rebuilt RE is gonna get sweeper on it instantly as well. He finally picks a doctrine here. We see tactical support company. I doubt we'll see an M5, but he's probably going to be getting those M19s. Yes, indeed, M19s on one rifle. This also means, you know, he doesn't have to tech, because he can just get the Calliope instead. And that way he can go captain into Calliope, for instance, which is something he might do here, since he's so far behind. I also got an LMG here, I think, on the... Is that an LMG? Yeah, it is. We got an LMG on the lieutenant there, that's interesting. Having both a bar and an LMG now.
Points are down to 3 P-47 refueled and standing by. Taking fire!
Oh, to the 2 almost goes down to the 50 cal burst there. And while CPU Easy is just trying to look for an opening here, but it's not that easy. I mean, once again though, this manpower float from both players at this point actually. I mean, DSM, Panzer IV is available. Could get another unit of literally anything as well.
Okay, ready yourself. They got us zeroed in here. Our supply line just got cut off.
Panzer IV is in the build. We have another Pioneer as well. What the hell was... Whoa, was there a teller all the way down here? I was wondering, where did the fucking DSM's munitions go? That's so deep. Wow. Very well played from DSM so far this game, and less so from CPU Easy, honestly. No sweeper yet. I mean, he would have found these tellers, but the fact is that there's still 2 tellers down here. Wow. I mean, that's just one of the strengths of this build, right? You have the free teller laying squads, and you don't have anything else to spend munition on, because you don't have any main lines. And versus a faction such as USF, you know, it just hurts for USF to go double RE. It's not something you want to be doing. It just feels bad, but if you see this, I don't think it's too bad to actually grab a second RE. Because, you know, the RE can still actually beat the machine guns. Y'all need to take grenades, and if you just send them out, they essentially do the same job as riflemen. You're gonna win the same engagement with the RE as the rifleman here, so... But yeah, no captain, even with this float. Calliope is super far away. Could definitely have had 2 80 guns and a captain with this, but instead he has nothing, and, you know, taking captain here is going to take a lot of time for CPU Easy. He has started, but it's still, you know, it could have been out already with 2 80 guns if he has used the float. Did grab Zooks instead. So interestingly, CPU Easy got both the weapon racks as well as this doctrine, which unlocks the M19s for free. Yeah, the 50 cal goes down there. No Pioneer close by to actually capitalize on it though, but the Panzer IV just removes it from the field instead. Zooks missing both shots.
Krauts are taking one of our points. Field promotion. All sectors. Ability now ready.
Rifleman could honestly go down here. There's nothing stopping this. And it's just CPU easy, not building anything with his resources. What is this? Is he saving resources for the next game already? Or what's the point here? Because, you know, this is like... This is so many units. He could have been out here with resource or with units. Instead he has barely anything. And, you know, he's still trying to hold the line here. This RE going very deep. I don't think one barrage is enough. No, it isn't. Both connects there and it's still alive. You know, Sook's dealing, I think, only 120 damage compared to the 80 gun 160. This 50 cal is living quite dangerously. But yeah, finally an 80 gun in production. Should probably just queue up 2 more at this point. He's not going to get major here. Oh, and the incendiary rounds taking out the 50 cal on retreat there. Just well planned from DSM and way less so from CPU Easy. Not quite sure what he's thinking whatsoever, to be honest. He's going to get the recrew here though, but he's gonna want to get out of there. And Panzer IV could make really fast work of this garrison, but the riflemen are already retreating. As the German forces are just smashing through the center. 80 gun is in possession, however. Needs to go in with the rifles to snare this if he gets behind it. Ari is here, however. This could be the throw that CPU Easy is looking for. 80 gun is in position, doesn't matter. Ari finishes the Panzer IV. 2-2 now going in though. In the no, it sets up. It's hidden behind the crew or the wreck, and manages to get out of there. But the other 2-2 goes in and fires and goes down, thinking he would save his teammate, but goes down himself. I mean, major loss for DSM, but still, he's still so far ahead here. Because CPU isn't building any units. Not quite sure what the plan here is whatsoever for CPU Easy. Basically playing with half the army he should have. But you know, Calliope is a possibility within the next 2 minutes, but he's really gonna want more units. And they went major. I didn't even realize that. He actually picked up the major. Okay, I missed that. Apologies. So we might actually see just an ordinary Sherman here for CPU Easy. Oh. And he also gets the take aim ability here for the extended vision and range. Could use that for a final attack round. Snare coming in behind though. Is that enough to kill it? It's not a guarantee. But it goes down instantly. Throwing here for DSM. 3 vehicles down within 1.5 minutes. What is going on? And 2-2 closing in here. Gonna get snared. And does these riflemen notice there is S-mines here? Answer to that question is no. So he might actually die on retreat now by the 2-2. In the meantime, Ari might actually go down as well. Close range MG42. Can the weapon crew finish him off? Gets away somehow. I have no clue how that survived either. But yeah, more tellers are out on the field. We see the first Panzer Grenadier, so my early game prediction wasn't accurate at all so far. Ooh. Bundle barely dodged there by CPU Easy. We finally see a Sherman versus actually no vehicles. He's catched up in fuel with DSM because of the 2 Panzer IV throws. Just madness all around. Meanwhile, DSM was probing for the 80 gun. He knew it was capturing this. He probably saw it with the LOS the points gives. And he found it and decrewed it, removing that veterancy, so take aim is no longer available. We see a flamethrower pop here. Quite an interesting decision. As this Jaeger command squad now in trouble. Sherman is here and he has the heat shells, or the HE shells, not the heat. High explosive, but they go down to the what's it called, M1919 and bar combo of his rifles. And the 50 cal is about to go down to the 222. Stuff happening all over the place, hard to keep up here. Pioneer going for a recrew, but the Sherman here punishing the 222, but there's a teller there. Somehow dodges that. I have no clue how. Pioneer now in peril. No follow-up from DSM though. Literally no AT on the field except for the pack gun. Doesn't get the wipe. And the 50 cal remains stolen. Dodges another teller here, I realize. There's another teller in this bush. Yeah, quite lucky Sherman there as well. Still no... he has one sweeper. He also rebuilt another RE, which is interesting. And he's going to try to min-max here while by repairing in the combat circle or in the fuel circle. That way he can capture and repair at the same time. As the Panzer IV reveals itself, CPU is quick on that retreat button. Not so quick to build units though. Maybe he thinks, you know, that CoH2 has a system where you get more if you have more, you know, I don't know. He must be thinking something, right?
We're losing a capture point.
But yeah, once again, standing dangerously close to this teller. I'm not sure if DSM has forgot about it. He's built so many, he doesn't remember the locations of them.
We're losing a capture point.
There's another one here. You know, if the Sherman just shoots one shot, those are dead squads. So we see a bundle nade. Barely dodged. Panzer IV going in for the major. And there we go! Hits the teller! I predicted it! I'm amazing! Kappa. There's another teller here? Where? Oh, it's on the VP. Dude, there's tellers everywhere. I think CPs is gonna want another sweeper squad. I don't think he's realizing how dangerously close he is to losing the game here. But finally, we see some units being built. We see another rifleman. 23 minutes into the game. I think he has been floating at least 300 manpower since the start of the game. So very interesting. We also see a mortar, probably to remove this garrison. As the RE might go down here. Gets away. 80 gun in trouble. Sherman hunting MGs. Isn't this in range? Yes, it is. Gets the MGD crew in the north, pack in position. So we have the major artillery somewhere. No clue why he put it there. We see a rifle nade. Was actually cancelled. Sprinting in for the snare, however. Does he get it? Not quite there. As the Panzer IV eats 2 shots in the rear from the Zooks. Still going for the snare. M180 gun trying to get in position. Panzer IV bounces. Sherman switching ammunition. Now the Panzer IV is in deep trouble here. 80 gun is in position. We have the rifleman support. We have the RE. Pack is way out of position. Panzer IV, however, manages to get away. And now we see the opposite. DSM is floating. And he barely has an army left. What happened? What happened to all these pioneers? Yeah, it's hard to keep up with this game. It's stuff happening everywhere. Panzer IV stopping. Why did it stop? Sherman can now go in for the kill. Second Panzer IV coming out, but here comes the Sherman and the 80 gun. The heavy cavalry, so to speak. Rifleman staying here just to provide vision, but might risk losing this squad now. Sherman going in, gets the killing blow, max range. Pack tries to retaliate, but misses. Chaos all over the battlefield. As the RE seemingly removes the teller in the center. The 80 gun, what are you doing? Not retreating. Might lose that now. Give it all the way back to Axis. Another teller here. No tellers on the right side, however. Letting CPU easy to get away with that maneuver. But yeah, decrease the M1 is gonna steal that. Another Sherman in the build, however, for CPU easy, so it's going to be a 2v1 battle here when it comes to the armor department. Panzer IV just probing, looking. What is this Sherman thinking? He thinks he's Brad Pitt, you know, he thinks he can do everything.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
But yeah, another Sherman is out. Mortar capturing for some reason. Probably feeling the snare loosen around his neck here with 100 VPs breathing down. And Sherman firing HE shells could make some really quick work. Needs one more hit. Potentially. Is that a teller there as well? Just so many mines this game from DSM. Oof. We also have the Mayor RT on the pack, forcing that away. And the M180 gun. Both players just seem to not caring about the M1 crews. They keep switching sides. Yeah, looks like Sherman is going to try to take it out, but he's standing right in front of a teller here. Gets the snare on the Sherman, but pack gun moving up. Panzer IV is repairing, however. As the pack gun is out of position. What's this? A dive bomb? Where is this? All of his armies is retreating! Sherman is up for grabs! Is he going for it? Could trade this squad. Why not? He can just instantly get a new one. He might just lose it without even grabbing. No wait, you need 3 models, not 2. He couldn't potentially grab that. But it might still go down. Major trying to save it here. Try some cheeky attack rounds. Seems Sherman has been saved by the Major. What is this chaos though? And now CPU Easy is spotting all these tellers everywhere. As the Panzer IV takes a lot of heat. Yeah, I think this vehicle crew needs to give some proper thank you to that Major. Requisitioning the vehicle from the battlefield. What is this insanity going on in this game? Didn't know. Who taught the Major to drive anyway? Is that something that's, you know, required? Oh, and these bars are Peagran's getting very low. Probably getting away though. Still no grenade tech, interestingly, from CPU Easy. I feel like that would be the most obvious way to actually combat DSM's build here. Because it's so supported weapon heavy, right? You want the smokes, and grenades lets you actually punish if you manage to get a flank off. Mortar hits another teller. And we see a Pack and M1 recruit. Panzer IV trying to remove them. Seemingly both players wants these guns removed. Pretty sure DSM is like, thank you, yes please, remove these. But yeah, Cali OP is now an option once again for CPU EC. Could also go for something heavier, such as a Jackson potentially. Oof. Rifleman almost goes down there. And once again, the RE is just spotting the amount of mines everywhere. Just a ridiculous amount. But finally, CPU Easy is making some headroom here when it comes to map control. He's making some maneuvers here. And I mean, look at his army at this point. He finally started spending some of his resources, you know? Meanwhile, DSM is quite fatigued here when it comes to both resources and manpower and units. Just really falling behind here in army value. Taking a look at the actual army value of both players here. We can see that CPU Easy is just getting way ahead. And the Rifleman might potentially go down here though. Not sure if Easy has noticed. Buried in the ruins. We have another Mayor arty here pop on the MG, forcing that away. Still a teller here, not spotted. Woof! Another teller, still not spotted here. We have a third Sherman in queue for CPU Easy. Probably looking to end the game here. You can probably smell the victory at this point. Fresh Jaeger command squad just getting eaten alive. Another off-map pop here. I mean, with 50 money income, you can literally pop that ability every single minute. Is Ari gonna sweep this? I would prefer if he just attack move this, so he could remove it with the Sooks, because this is kind of risky if the Panzer IV fires! Oh, he manages to just remove them in time. That was a close call. Here comes the Panzer IV parade. Still a teller here. I'm not sure if CPU Easy has noticed this. It is vision, or visual. Yeah, one RE goes down. As the Sherman eats a barrage. M180 gun in position though. Sook cutting off any attempts at retreats here from the Panzer IVs. Now in deep trouble. In the middle of nowhere, or the Panzer IV is almost completely surrounded. Another Sherman finally drives on the teller by the garrison, but Panzer IV just surrounded here. Grabs one kill. Ari is suppressed from the north and is going for the second Sherman as well. This Panzer IV just going full Brad Pitchler. Here comes another Sherman. Could pop smoke or something. But he has the armor skirts now. He's gonna have way better armor rating. Does bounce one round. Second Panzer IV appears from the production line. Sherman now in trouble. Panzer IV misses but get connected. Sherman could just go for a trade here. Where's the M180 gun? It's not in position. Sherman goes down. Panzer IVs run supreme. Where did the 80 gun go? It pulled all the way back to base.
We just lost a unit.
What happened in this massacre of a game? And it's not even over. Easy still has a way larger army. And he has a Jackson coming out.
Losing a capture point.
Did that just get snared? Yes, it did. Panzer IV is in trouble once again. We see a smoke drop. Machine gun grabbing the northern VP. Stopping the VP bleed here for CPUEC. He is down to 75 VPs. So he needs to start prioritizing. Machine gun though could be decrewed here. Yeah, this Jackson could just run around mopping all these Panzer IVs up.
The capture point is under attack.
Finally gets one of them thanks to the anti-tank grenades. MG way out of side position. Just keep probing here. Gotta repair that Panzer IV. Just a huge force here charging forward. But 3 Panzer Grenadier now charging in, looking for the... Jackson immediately drives on another Tellermine. Where is the Panzer IV? I mean, it's still not repaired, so he probably can't capitalize on this. But it's still so funny. You know, still no sweeper. How many tellers do you need to hit or see before you get some sweepers out? Just quite ridiculous. What is this? Another dive bomb on the Jackson? Losing the vehicle. What is going on? I mean, he could have tried saving it, but I guess he wasn't sure of the location of that. Still no sweeper, eh? Okay. I guess you don't have any vehicles anyway, so...
A capture point is under attack. We're on the hook over here. Listen up, man.
Off map is on cooldown here. Yeah, another 800 map. Should just more 80 guns perhaps, just something. Or I don't know, fighting positions even, or just, you know, more 50 cals. He just needs units. He's about to lose south and north here, and potentially center as well. He's down to 75 VPs. He's fighting a way smaller force.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
He's managing to save the south, but center is lost, and so is the north. Panzer IV now joining the fray as well. M1 pretty much forced away here. You don't want to be taking this fight, because the Panzer IV can just dive you and you'll be gone for. Which is exactly what we're seeing. Finally, CPU easy, realizing he doesn't have enough AT. Rebuilding the 80 gun.
We're losing a capture point.
Can the lieutenant save the M1 though? Oh, he does get it just in time. Might get immediately decrewed though.
Anti-tank gun, ready for action.
Did he get the snare in? Yes, he did, but the Zooks bounced. As the vehicle crew is sparring versus the Panzer Grenadier.
Taking lead over here.
Panzer IV driving on the RE mine right there. I mean, get a minesweeper. CPU easy screams at his opponent. I'm not sure if there is any more tellers, but well, we've seen so many crazy tellers all over, so very hard to tell if there is any more.
In contact! HMG! A capture point is being overrun.
Yeah, 59 VPs now remaining for CPU EC. He's losing South as well. Major trying desperately here. We see the off-map being used. Still no grenade tech either. Could have used that so well this game, I think, with smokes and whatnot. Grenades even. Instead of using the off-map on the Mayor, you know. The smoke does the exact same thing and it's cheaper. But yeah, another Sherman is coming out. He does have 280 guns. But yeah, the clock is slowly, you know, running out here. 40 VPs. It's completely even currently though. One neutralized, one blue, one red. So no bleed as of currently. But the Pioneer is grabbing the South. Gun misses. Bleed has started now, 42 VPs. Bounces on both sides here. But Sherman, now in kill range, needs one more hit. Nice attack ground attempt there from the Panzer IV. But, well, yeah, South is blue, center is blue. Squad's defending both. Meanwhile, CPU isn't even going to be able to hold the North VP. You also have an MG and Panzer Grenadier closing in here. If this was 250 gals, I swear this could have been different. But yeah, desperately staying just in the circle here. Trying to keep this to not bleed too fast. Also see the major artillery coming down here, as well as the smoke run on the MG. South is being captured, but to the cost of young lives. We also, is that a decoy? Yeah, that's the decoy. Just trying to buy some time before the MG is unsmoked. And Major finally goes down. Using the incendiary rounds here, but I'm not sure if it's enough to pin him in time. Ah, nope, no pin. Where is the Sherman? 80 gun misses. South is finally captured, but he's not gonna be able to hold that without further support. 80 gun goes down to the Jaeger command squad. Sherman just not sure where to go. It's like everywhere there's either a Panzer IV or another Panzer IV, or there's maybe a teller. But yeah, no pin. Finally the Panzer Grenadiers get pinned. But it's already captured, and South is being captured as well. This is probably game here. I don't see CPU easy capturing these points back in time. 17 VPs. Panzer IV diving the 80 gun in South. Sherman just confused seemingly. He needs a navigator or something, because he can't seem to find where to go. Finally chooses to make one Hail Mary push on the Panzer IV. Actually pens every round, but it doesn't matter. Gun gets destroyed. South is captured, but the points are bleeding. 5 VPs remaining. 4. Panzer IV finishes it off and calls in GG to DSM, taking home this just insane game. no clue what went down here. Just craziness all over the place. I don't know. How many tellers? Let's just count the tellers from DSM here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Still. 5, 6. 7, 8. That's probably it, I think. Then he was using the Stuck off map and the smoke. So, well, yeah. Well played to DSM, just, you know, running those tellers all the way home, essentially. Definitely think the tellers won in this game. He was struggling for very large portions of it, but just getting the first M20, then getting the second light vehicle of the Stewart, and then gets a free pickup on the Sherman over here, and then he gets the Jackson for free, as well as the Sherman diving this one and then losing it. But yeah, GG, well played.